Okay, ayos. Ah, good morning ulit sa lahat ng ating mga kababayan here in Western and Central Europe, especially those coming from Austria, Belgium, Germany, and the Netherlands. And we know that from based on the registration, meron din po tayong mga kababayan galing sa iba't ibang parte ng Europe, from Spain, Italy, and elsewhere, no, even UK. And of course, magandang hapon, good afternoon sa lahat ng mga kababayan natin in the Philippines. So sana po nasa mabuti kayong kalagayan. Welcome po ulit sa Trabaho, Negosyo at Kabuhayan webinar and on franchise investment opportunities in the Philippines. I am Benedict Uy, representative of the Philippine Department of Trade and Industry based here in Brussels, Belgium, and I cover the Benelux countries. And my co-host today is my dear colleague. She is also from DTI and she covers naman countries including Germany, Austria, and many more other countries in that area. No other than Commercial Counselor Althea Antonio. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Ben. Thank you for that introduction. So magandang umaga po sa mga kababayan sa Europe at magandang hapon po sa mga kababayan natin sa Philippines. Maraming salamat po. Thank you very much for joining us today. And yes, as Ben mentioned, we have 461 registrations. And again, as I mentioned earlier, we are also streaming live on the PFA Facebook page and also the Facebook pages of the Philippine embassies here in Europe, specifically in Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, and Austria, and also on our DTI pages, DTI Berlin and DTI Brussels pages. So again, this webinar po is being recorded. So if you wish to watch this again, you may do so by going to the PFA Facebook page at Philippine Franchise Association, or you may also visit the website at www.pfa.org.ph. So before we officially start the program, allow me again to briefly remind you of the house rules. So first, should you have any questions, you may type them down at the Q&A portion at the lower portion of Q&A box at the lower portion of your pages. And please indicate your name kasi hindi po namin babasahin yung mga anonymous questions. And yeah, if you want more information on any of the brands presenting today, please leave your contact details, your name, email address, mobile number, and the brand you're interested in, and we will pass them on to the presenters, franchise presenters today. And kung sino man po ang may gusto ng e-certificate, paki-email po kami, paki-email po ang PFA sa pfa.webinars@pfa.org.ph. Please indicate your full name, company, or organization, and the reasons for requesting the certificate. And lastly, let us practice and observe respectful comments and refrain from using offensive language in the chat box. So maraming salamat po.
Ayan. Thank you, Thea. So please look at the webinar program in your screens now. There you go. So you will see na talagang napakaswerte natin. We're really, really fortunate na ang daming very, very important people in the industry ang sumasali or nandito ngayon sa webinar natin. So we are joined by our leaders in the Philippine franchise industry, from their chairman, their vice chairman, the president and director, and mga members ng Philippine Franchise Association. And of course, nandito rin, full support and full force ang ating mga kagalang-galang na mga ambassadors from Belgium, the Netherlands, Germany, and Austria. In a short while, we will be introducing each of them and call them to deliver their respective speeches, inspirational messages, lecture, and valuable advice. So from now on, sa mga kababayan natin nakikinig, please tune in na, tutok na kayo sa mga devices ninyo, sa mga gadgets nyo, or sa PC ninyo at subaybayan ang kabuuan nitong webinar at marami po kayong matututunan.
Yes, it is indeed exciting and inspiring to have these leaders from the Philippine Franchise Association join us together in one webinar. And also, thank you again to our ambassadors for taking time and joining us this morning. During this pandemic, marami tayong questions, about going into business. And hopefully with this webinar, we'll be able to give you more insights and tips and information on doing business, or venturing into a business, even in these times of pandemic or post-pandemic. So we look forward to learning the new ways of franchising under the new normal. Buzzword is the new normal. And we will be hearing this from our franchise brand presenters from Bibing Kinitan, Rice Pa, Potato Corner, Pure Nectar, and new franchise sales and management featuring Brent Gas, H2O Mineral Plus, and Shawarma Shack.
Ayan. So let's begin. Okay. So to formally begin this webinar, it is with great honor and pride to introduce to you our first speaker to give the welcome remarks. She holds key positions in various important organizations in the Philippines, such as she's the current chairman of the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry. She is the vice chairman of the Philippine Retailers Association and the vice chair of Phoenix Publishing Group. She is a multi-awarded leader in the Philippines and abroad. Our distinguished speaker is behind the success of big brands in franchising, such as Potato Corner, The Generics Pharmacy, Bench, Pen Shop, Turk's Shawarma, and many, many more. So in short, siya po yung nanay ng Philippine franchise industry. So please, let us give a warm welcome to Vice Chairman of the Philippine Franchise Association, Ms. Bing Tibal Limhoco. Ma'am Bing?
Thank you so much for the kind introduction, Ben. And I would also like to thank you for initiating this TNK. We initially started with like 2 countries and then 3 countries and now 4 countries. Okay. So let me welcome our Ambassador Eduardo Jose de Vega of the Philippine Embassy in Belgium. Also Ambassador Jaime Victor Leda of the Philippine Embassy in Netherlands. Ambassador Maria Teresa B. Dizon de Vega of the Philippine Embassy in Germany, and to Ambassador Maria Cleofe Natividad of the Philippine Embassy in Austria. I would also like to greet an old friend, Commercial Counselor Althea Antonio of PITC Berlin. We have been working maybe more than a decade in Paris, and I'm so happy to be working with her again now. And of course, to all our kababayans who are really wanting to listen to what's happening now with this pandemic. Magandang hapon po, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat, at dito sa Maynila, magandang hapon po. So let me greet you all on behalf of the PFA Board of Trustees and Officers. I would like to welcome you all to our TNK, and I hope everyone is safe and in the best of health. As we all know, this global pandemic has really given us so many challenges. For the Philippines, for the second quarter, we are negative 16.5. But put together the first and second quarter, negative 9. These are really the lowest we've had. And with this, we will say, so what? Are we still going to invest there and all? This is the best time to invest. Can you imagine? Negative 16.5, negative 9, nowhere to go but go up. Isn't it? When stocks are down, you buy. So this is really the right time for all of us. And I'm going to tell you more reasons why we should really look at investments now. They also said that when economy is down, entrepreneurs rise. And we have seen this in 1997 after the Asian financial crisis. The group of Mr. Tiglao, I would even tell him, even give his name. They started with one Jollibee franchise in 1997. There were like 10 of them that bought into it. But do you know now? They have almost 20, each of them having more. And pag golf na lang sila. They did not even go into other investments. Segurado na ang kanilang franchise. Last week, I was also asked to speak before the Rotary Club. And they also told me, you know, we have money. We want to invest. We don't know where to invest our money. So I spoke to them and I even brought you franchise with me. And they're really serious in getting a franchise because they know the success rate of a franchise is 90% versus starting your own business. So these are just some of the things that really are so important. Then also, our secretary, NEDA secretary, Carl Chua said, we must dance with the virus. What is this? 2 steps backward, 1 step forward. Meaning, at this time that it is negative, we will pull back, but we will move forward faster. Also, the father of Philippine franchising, Sammy Lim, has also said that year 2021 to 2025 will be the golden age of franchising. Why? Because there are just so many overseas Filipinos coming home. There are many that are retrenched, many that are retired. What are they going to do? They're too young yet to, and they don't want to start a new business. So they are all looking at an investment, and many of them looking for a franchise. That's why this afternoon, you will learn more from the different brands that we are bringing, that we will be presenting to you. Also, I congratulate all of you for having taken the first step of participating in this webinar. Anyway, let us continue to live up to the Bayanihan spirit among us Filipinos and rise as one towards recovery and resiliency. As we say, let us heal as one. We know there is a bright future for our country because it is now the Asian century. The growth will be in Asia. And who is in the forefront of the Asian century? Tayo po. Philippines po. They have already told us before, we are the rising star in Asia. And I still believe we are the rising star. So let us heal as one. Maraming salamat po. Mabuhay tayong lahat.
Maraming salamat, Ms. Bing. And thanks for your warm greetings to everyone. Yes, we go way back a decade ago. Matagal na yun sa Paris. Yes. This morning, we are very thankful that we have 4 Philippine ambassadors joining us in this webinar. And like what Ms. Bing said earlier, we have requested them to each give a short inspirational messages to our kababayans in their areas of jurisdiction. Then?
Okay, so to start, may we have our Philippine ambassador in Belgium and mission to the European Union, His Excellency Ambassador Eduardo Jose de Vega. Sir?
Good morning, magandang umaga, Ben. Good afternoon sa mga kababayan natin. No? And in my capacity as a Philippine ambassador to Belgium and Luxembourg and to the European institutions, may I say bonjour, mes amis, to our Filipinos in Belgium. Goedemorgen to those in Flanders and in the Netherlands. Guten Morgen to those in Austria and Germany, and of course Luxembourg, which is under our jurisdiction as well. Buenos días, nuestros compañeros en España, buongiorno a tutte le Filippine in Italia. Now, everything has been said. Thank you, Madam Sibal Limhoco. Actually, Asia is the rising star. The Philippines is the rising star of Asia. And now today we celebrate ASEAN Day, so that's also a significant date for us today as we become the forefront of this economic recovery. Mga kababayan, no, this is not the first TNK that we've been holding, but this year, because of the new normal, we've been holding them virtually, and we actually reach more people. We understand that there are at least 461 or rising. Those of you who followed or following this TNK. Last year, I remember we had our physical TNKs, and in each TNK, maybe we might have 100 people, but now we have more hundreds. No? Now we know these are difficult times, but it does not mean that we let go of opportunities. We wash our hands, but we don't wash our hands of the responsibility to continue trying to make a better life or to pass everything to other agencies. So we are in control of our destiny. We, of course, conduct social distancing, but we don't distance ourselves from economic opportunities that may arise. We wear our masks, but it doesn't mean we're concealing ourselves from people and investment opportunities that are here and may help not just you, but your kababayans and the country. So, ang ganda ng ating program na yun is for Filipinos to know where they could invest in franchises which have proven to be a great success. And we'll also hear from them about how they've been coping in the times of COVID. Nasabi na po ni Madam Sibal Limhoco, when you're down, there's no place to go up. So the best time to invest is now. So thank you, Ben, and thank you, Thea, for this. And to my fellow ambassadors, magandang umaga, good morning, and let's all have a great webinar today. Salamat.
Yeah, thank you so much, Amba Eddie. Thank you for your message. So now, let's move on to. We would like to request to turn the mic on to the Philippine Ambassador to the Netherlands, His Excellency Ambassador Jaime Victor Leda. Amba Jet, please.
Hello, magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Greetings from Den Haag. And thank you very much, Ben and Althea and your teams in Brussels, Berlin, and Manila for setting up this webinar. I'm really happy that we're off to a very, very good momentum in this TNK webinar this time on franchise business. 2 weeks ago, we had one on social media and entrepreneurship, and we really are seeing the great results of your efforts. So thank you very much, Ben, and now Althea for putting this together. I'd like to greet also all our kababayans who are joining us, and maybe some other participants who would like to know more about franchising in the Philippines. And my greetings also to my colleagues, ambassadors, Ambassador Tess De Vega, Ambassador Pichi Natividad, and of course, Ambassador Ed De Vega. Also, my greetings to the officers of the Philippine Franchise Association. Thank you very much, Madam Bing Sibal Limhoco, for a very encouraging start for this webinar. It's a really good indicator of what we're going to discuss this day. Also to the President, Cheryl Quintana, and Mr. Chris Lim, as well as the other members of the Philippine Franchise Association. I myself, I'm very interested about this webinar. I'm also I'm going to be returning to the Philippines soon, so I'd like to know what this viable business model is about. And of course, we're going to have discussions and guidance from very experienced mentors and players in this field. And second, I'm also interested in the different franchising options of Filipino products, which we can even help promote in our capacity as investors or possibly franchise holders. We know that this is a very good example, and I think this is really, through the years, one of the hallmarks of success here in the Philippines. And it's a good model. It's a tried and tested operation, and I think this this really is very opportune, especially as it's time. You know, as you mentioned, ma'am, Filipinos overseas are very well suited for franchising. The people have saved. People are now looking at what they can do with their investments and how they can make it grow and benefit their immediate family members and even their community. So I'd like to thank again PTIC Brussels and PTIC Berlin for putting this webinar together. Congratulations. It looks like if this the participation is any indicator of success, this is really kudos to you. And thank you again to the support from our colleagues in Germany and Austria. Of course, the Benelux region is also very happy that we've widened the scope of this series of webinars. So I wish everyone good health and all the best in our endeavors. And mabuhay tayong lahat. And happy ASEAN Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Amba Jed, and thank you, Amba Eddie, for your inspirational messages. Now I would like to invite Ambassador Maria Teresa Dizon de Vega of the Philippine Embassy here in Germany, my home embassy, let's say, to give her message of inspiration. Amba Des?
Hello, Thea. Hello, Ben. Guten Morgen. Guten Tag from the Philippine Embassy in Berlin. And also bonjour to all our kababayans in the Benelux region, to my colleagues, Ambassador Jet, Ambassador Ed, and Ambassador Cleofe. We call her fondly Ambassador Pichi. Thank you very much. On behalf of the Team Philippines in Germany, which is composed of our embassy in Berlin, our Philippine Consulate General in Frankfurt under Consul General Evelyn Austria Garcia, our honorary consulates in Munich, Essen, and Stuttgart, our attached agencies, and of course, our PTIC headed by Althea Antonio. We would like to thank the organizing team for inviting us to take part in this TNK seminar. This is the second for the embassy in Berlin after our last TNK in Hamburg, which generated a lot of positive responses from the community. And of course, private sector partners, the headed by Ms. Cheryl Quintana, Vice Chair Bing Lim Hoko, the entire PFA team, and our distinguished speakers led by Mr. Chris Lim, who I'm sure is doing his father, Philippine franchising stalwart, Mr. Sammy Lim, proud, and all the company representatives. I'd like to say vielen Dank, special thanks to our kababayans and friends from Germany who are participating in this event and for sharing this particular event with their networks throughout Europe, throughout the region. Just taking off from what Vice Chair Bing Lim Hoko said earlier, if there is any time that the active engagement of our overseas community in the economic sector is needed, it is now. When the Philippines and the rest of the world is trying to build itself pandemic and onto surer economic footing, every effort, every engagement, any investment you make, big or small, is needed at this critical time. It's important. As the slogan proclaims, we recover as one. And this is indeed a time for solidarity and also a great leap of faith and courage. The business people who are part of this forum will tell you, kailangan lang ng lakas ng loob sa business. If you have the capital in hand, and as Ambajet mentioned, especially here in Europe, have been able to save. They've been prudent with their earnings. So this is the time to think about investing in our country, investing in your local communities back home, helping your families also generate employment, boosting consumer confidence, and of course, boosting the economy in turn. And if anything, Filipinos are gutsy, malakas ang loob natin. So let's use it productively. Let's use that spirit of community and that gung-ho spirit in this case. It will be a very challenging road ahead. The latest news, of course, is sobering, but as Ms. Lim Hoko said, there's nowhere to go but up. And just in our favor, despite the rather challenging economic news, credit rating companies across the world, like the Japan Credit Rating Agency, for example, has upgraded us to A1 status. That's the Philippines credit rating upgrade. Moody's has also maintained its credit rating for the Philippines, Baa2 with a stable outlook. And the peso is one of the best right now in the region, in the Asia Pacific region. So there's hope. There's always a silver lining. And if you participate, if you forge ahead, I'm sure we can make of the opportunities of the of what has happened to us during this pandemic. And together we will not only heal as one, but we will also recover as one. So again, many thanks to everyone. Maraming salamat po. Vielen Dank. And I wish everyone a very productive session this morning. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Ambates. Thank you, Ambates, for your inspirational message. And now we'd like to also invite and welcome Her Excellency Ambassador Maria Cleofe Natividad of the Philippine Embassy in Austria. So ma'am, maraming salamat po sa oras at pagbibigay po ng oras ninyo for this webinar. May you call on Amba Pechi, please?
Grüß Gott, guten Morgen, magandang umaga at hapon sa inyong pong lahat. I join my colleagues in thanking the Department of Trade and Industry, especially our colleagues from the Philippine Trade and Investment Centers in Brussels and Berlin for organizing this webinar for our kababayans abroad. I also wish to thank Ms. Cheryl Quintana and Ms. Bing Sibol Bingcoco. And of course, my greetings to my fellow ambassadors from Berlin, Brussels, and The Hague, and as well to welcome all our viewers and followers from around the globe. Mga kababayan, of course, we all feel anxious and worried about our current economic situation during this time of great uncertainty. And this is a sentiment that is shared by everyone here today. But as many wise men and women have said in one form or another, every crisis presents opportunity as well as challenges. So now more than ever, we need to expand our horizons and learn new or innovative ways of earning and investing to support ourselves, our loved ones, our communities, not only in the Philippines, but also in other countries, and most of all, especially of course, to support our country and government. Sa panahon na ngayon, dapat, sabi nga, maging maabilidad tayo sa pagpapalago ng ating kabuhayan. And as such, it is with great pleasure that the Philippine Embassy in Vienna joined this DTI-led initiative. I hope that this event will provide our kababayans inspiration and our foreign friends more possibilities in our individual journeys towards greater financial security, always taking into consideration our unique needs and means. The inspiration, of course, today will be courtesy of our friends from the Philippine Franchising Association. And I thank all for taking time out from your busy schedules and having a conversation with members of our community, especially here in Austria, as well as Slovenia, Slovakia, and Croatia, which our embassy here in Vienna covers. May I suggest as a possible future project perhaps, can we also have jointly look into another seminar for our foreign friends who might be interested to bring Philippine franchises to their own countries, like here in Austria. Nai-imagine ko na po, for example, having a potato corner, a shawarma shack, or a bibingkinitan here in Austria. There is an increased interest or demand for Filipino cuisine in our country, in the countries that I cover. And so on this note, I hope that everyone will be safe. Please wear your mask, social distance when able, but let us work closely together. I'm very excited to join you for the first time, and I am delighted to hear all these interesting views and opportunities that our presenters will bring forward this morning. So magandang umaga po at pagpalaing tayong lahat ng poong may kapal. Thank you.
Maraming salamat po, Amba Pichi. Salamat po for those inspiring message. Thank you, Ambassador Tess, Ambassador Ed, and Ambassador Jet. No? So, after hearing those inspirational messages, so I'm sure our kababayans are now really, really inspired and waiting and eager to listen to the lectures and presentation of our colleagues in the Philippine Franchise Association as well as the brands. No? So without further ado, let's now focus on the topic, franchising opportunities in the Philippines. So our next speaker, to provide us an overview of the Philippine franchising sector, we have another multi-awarded entrepreneur and a business leader. She was the first Filipina to receive the Asia Pacific Women Entrepreneur conferred by the Confederation of the Asia Pacific Chambers of Commerce and Industry. She is also a passionate mentor, an author, and a professional speaker on the topics of entrepreneurship, branding, franchising, and strength-based coaching. She authored a book, A Small Entrepreneur's Journey, How to Start, Survive, and Succeed. And she recently launched her second book, Yes, the Filipino Brand Can, which is also her advocacy. So let us now welcome the founder and chief executive officer of Arispa Solutions Incorporated and the president of the Philippine Franchise Association, a remarkable leader and a true inspiration, Madam Cheryl Quintana. Hi, Miss Cheryl.
Thank you so much, Sir Ben. Thank you, Thea, for the kind introduction and for pulling this off, this seminar. At I know a lot of you, magandang araw sa lahat ng mga nanonood. You're very excited with the inspiring and powerful speeches and welcome remarks by the mother of Philippine franchising, Ma'am Bing. Maraming salamat to our excellencies, Amba Eddie, Amba Jed, Ambassador Tess, and Ambassador Cleofe. Maraming pong salamat for being together this afternoon. Nandito rin po kasama natin ang father of Philippine franchising, Mr. Sammy Lim. I know you're here. Maraming salamat po. I know everyone is excited and asking themselves, with all the problems we're facing today, how do I help the Philippines bounce back? And also at the same time, be our own boss. I know you're also excited to leverage franchising as a tool to help the economic situation of the Philippines and heal as one. So what is franchising? Franchising is a strategy to grow a business from one to many in various locations using the people's time, money, and network. And also, it is a way to become your own boss by starting a business yourself, not just by yourself, but also leveraging others people's resources. Franchising, as we all know, is good in best times, but during crisis is much better because it's a powerful instrument to create thousands of businesses and millions of jobs. What is Philippine Franchise Association? We have been founded in 1995 and the pioneer franchise association in the country. We have members that includes the biggest franchise brands that you see, not just in the Philippines, but also foreign brands, and 65% of our membership are MSMEs, or micro, small, and medium enterprises. Our members adhere to the fair franchising standards, the code of ethics of the Philippine Franchise Association. As everyone knows, it is the home of the country's most trusted brands, the only internationally recognized franchise association in the Philippines, and currently the Secretariat of the Asia Pacific Franchise Confederation. The Philippine franchising and the economy, we actually have over 1,800 number of franchises. 66% of those are homegrown, 34% are foreign brands. We are responsible for over 200,000 outlets and also almost 2 million jobs generated by franchising. We've been doing this for the past decades, and we already have 25 brands that gone international. Now, with the impact of the COVID-19 crisis, what has been the impact? And we've been researching, we've done a lot of surveys and researches with our with our members, and surely 82% said they have been experiencing a significant impact on their business operations. As you can see from the screen, these are the top concerns elevated by our members. And though they've been worried about the global recession, what we've been doing this afternoon is a great opportunity for all of us to help one another. We've been forecasting that after lifting the ECQ, almost half of our members are willing to resume mall operations. In fact, we've been calling on everyone, our members, that it is our moral obligation to continue operation to help the country bounce back. As you can see, you can actually screenshot some of the data that we have been sharing on the screen right now. And how do we respond to the COVID-19 disruptions? We can probably call our entrepreneurs, our Filipino entrepreneurs, heroes at this time, because we've been, despite the crisis, despite the challenges, we wanted to be of help and to be a great economic contributor. We've been doing a lot of repurposing for our brands, retooling, and of course, several have been pivoting already to cope up and to bounce back. Almost everyone has gone digital at this point in time, as we've been doing this morning. The main drivers of the new normal is actually staying home so that everybody stays safe. Also, it is an opportunity to see that everyone now patronage or has given patronage for the Filipino brands, and they've been patronizing local and also a lot of communities, because you can only go around within your direct communities at this time. So hyper-localism has been highly observed in so many areas in the country. Of course, everyone is looking at to be a global brand, and globalization through digitalization has been seen as a main driver for this new normal. The best is yet to come. As our previous speakers, our ambassadors have been telling you, the golden years of franchising will be the next 5 years. We now have the biggest pool of potential franchisees, as everyone is now looking at entrepreneurship to help their personal economy, be their own boss, and also to be able to help the economic situation as a whole. The availability of vacant retail spaces at this point, and these are the new opportunities in the new normal. For food, we have seen a lot of demands for fresh produce, delivery, which provides a takeout and drive-through services, and also safe and ready-to-eat meals. We also had observed dark kitchens and healthy food options. For the retail, everyone is into health and wellness right now, looking at how we can buy franchises that are into health products, beauty products, as well as affordable indulgences. This is what we call in the economy the lipstick effect during crisis. Also, in the services sector, we've seen a lot of interest in franchising clinics, laundry services, housekeeping services. Of course, as kids now go online learning, we are also seeing the resurgence of homeschooling as well as microfinancing. I know every one of you is thinking where to go right now. And as always, we believe that yes, the Filipino brand can. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Mabuhay po tayo.
Thank you very much, Ms. Cheryl, for that introduction to franchising and then introducing to us your association, the Philippine Franchise Association. And also, thank you for that brief spiel on how the PFA, your association, is addressing the impacts of the pandemic. And I'd like to revert to what Amba Pechi mentioned about every crisis presents opportunities. No, I think that's a very powerful statement. And again, I'd like to thank Ms. Cheryl for presenting, the new opportunities in the new normal under this pandemic in the perspective of the franchises. So yes, thank you very much for that. And now we shall discuss on how to invest in the right franchise. So we have an introduction on the franchising as a business model, and I would like to present to you how to invest in the right franchise. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our pleasure to introduce this afternoon our resource speaker, who is also a recognized leader in the franchising industry. He is an author and a multi-awarded marketer. He spent over a decade growing brands globally as Senior Global Brand Manager of Unilever, based in London, Bangkok, Shanghai, Manila, and Cebu. And he co-authored the first franchising book entitled 12 Strategies of Franchising. He is currently the CEO of FranCorp Philippines, the Philippines' largest franchise development consultancy, and the president of View Franchise, the Philippines' largest franchise matching company. He is also the director for ASEAN and special projects of the Philippine Franchise Association. Please let us all welcome Mr. Chris Lin.
Hi, good morning to everyone there, and good afternoon to the people here in the Philippines. Thank you once again for having us here. Well, I have a few minutes to be able to share to you all about franchising, and thank you very much for Cheryl for setting up what franchising is about. Now, I want to spend the next 10 minutes just to share with you a bit more about the details of franchising and maybe the questions you need to ask both the franchisor as well as yourselves. Now, in the next slide, we do a lot of this, and then we've done this in quite a few different countries, and we do at least here in the Philippines about twice a month. And it's really because we're all united by this belief that if you don't build your dream, someone will hire you to build theirs. And that's really what drives us, because we've been trying to help more and more people really build their own dreams, build something, a business that they can pass on. And so that's why in the next slide, Cheryl already talked about what franchising is, but the very simple definition is it's about duplicating the success of a successful business. So you see a successful business, or maybe you heard about a very successful salon, restaurant here in the Philippines. You just want to replicate how they're doing it, all their secrets. And the idea is you're in a business for yourself, but not by yourself. And because of this, the reason franchising is so successful, and the reason the Philippines is the top 7 largest franchise market in the entire world and the biggest in Southeast Asia, is because it has a 90% success rate. So if you opened your own store, based on a USAID study, if you open your own store from scratch, so whether it's a restaurant or whether it's a retail chain, the chances of success is only 25%. So after 10 years, if you opened 100 stores, only about 25% or about 25 will survive. While franchising, 90 out of 100 will survive after 10 years. And really, that's because it's all about duplicating the success. And with any franchise, now I'm sure a lot of you there would have heard about franchising and people offered you a franchise. One often question we get is this a credible franchise? One way to look into that is it has to have these 5 elements. First, the use of the name. So they have to give you the use of the name, whether that's a Jollibee, a Max, a Bench, a generics pharmacy. They have to be, everything they invested in building that brand. And, they spend millions and millions building brands. I know that because as part of Unilever, we invest billions of pesos every year to build brands. So you get to use that from day one. Second is, of course, the use of the system. Just imagine if you got a Jollibee franchise, but they never taught you to cook the Chicken Joy. I don't think that will even last one day. They have to teach you the systems and procedures, give you operations manuals. Usually that's a few hundred pages long. It tells you everything about how to open the store, how to close the store, how to operate it, how to cook food, how to merchandise, how to market, even your hiring, firing policies, your HR policies. And of course, they give you the products, the marketing campaigns, the store designs, merchandising, and ongoing support. So they give you the name, the system that they've actually built over many, many years. And they've made all the mistakes there so that you're getting the best version of their operations. In return, of course, you as a franchisee have to give your money, time, and people. Money, franchise fees. So most of the franchise brands, and you'll hear some of them today, they'll talk about franchise fee. Usually this is a fixed fee. It's paid up front. It's really because of the use of the name, the system, as well as the fact that they have to train you. They have to look for you. They have to evaluate your site. There's a lot of investment that they put into you up front. So that's what the franchise fee is for. Then, of course, you put in the capital, the business, and the royalty. The royalties are a percentage of sales. Now, if someone tells you a royalty is 5%, it means 5% of your sales you'll be giving to the franchisor, because not only have they trained you, they will continue to support you. And important as well about royalty is this is where franchisors actually get their profit, because they're also a business. So the beauty and the secret to that 90% success rate of franchising is that there are two people who want to make sure you succeed. You as the business owner and the franchisor, because they want to make sure your sales as high as possible, because the more you sell, the more they make. And of course, they have advertising fees, and you buy products from the franchisor. Now, the advertising fees is fees they spend as well to continue building the brand. Because as we all know, as you continue building the brand, it benefits you and the entire system. On top of that, of course, putting in your time and your people. Now, a big question, of course, for overseas Filipinos is you won't be here. You can't put in the time. Very important with franchising is they do want to see that whether it's you, whether it's an industrial partner, someone is looking after the business, because you can't just hire someone and leave it to them. It's very different having an owner. So it's all about money, time, and people. In the next slide, the benefits of franchising, I've talked about it quite a bit, the brand recall, the proven systems, the solid marketing. But I think very important as well is product research and development. If you think of building a brand, if you had one store, it's very difficult to create new products. Think of a Potato Corner, who we'll be hearing from later. After 20 plus years, their core flavors continue to be sour cream, cheese, barbecue. But despite that, they've introduced so many flavors, whether that's chocolate, wasabi, so many new flavors to attract people. The beauty of franchising is I could own just 1 or 2 stores, but I have access to all these flavors. I don't have to invest in research and development. And of course, we've talked about the experience and support of the franchisor and the profit potential. Very important note on profit potential. No franchisor can promise you a profit. They can just promise you the potential profit, because they can compute it based on other stores. Now, so I've spent that time just talking about franchising. By all means, put in the Q&A box if you had more questions about franchising and the fees. But just a few questions you need to ask franchisors when you're choosing a brand. First, just understand why customers really choose their brand versus others. So, of course, at the end of the day, you need to make sure that you enjoy the brand, but you also need to understand why other people enjoy the brand and buy it. You ask what support they give to the franchisees, both at the start and the ongoing support. Of course, understand the financial profitability and payback period. And don't just ask them, do your own computation. Also ask what location works best. Very important as you're looking for franchises, also do look at locations, because at the end of the day, you could choose the right brand, but if you chose the wrong location, it still won't work. For you to be at that 90% success rate, you have to have both a strong brand and a strong location. And do ask if they're PFA members or who developed their franchise program. So you want to make sure a professional developed their franchise program. At the same time, if they are PFA members, you know they're credible. They're not fly-by-night franchisors. And by all means, you're more than welcome to email us at the PFA, and the contact details will be there later if you had a question about a franchise store that you wanted to invest in. Now, I've spent the past few minutes just talking about franchisors. Also, you need to ask yourself a few questions, kayong potential franchisees. First, you have to ask, how much are you really willing to invest? Are you willing to invest $500,000, $1 million pesos? Are you willing to invest 5, 10 million pesos? My advice here is invest something you're comfortable with. Don't invest your entire life savings in just one franchise. Diversification is key. So do invest what you're comfortable with. And if that's not enough to buy the franchise you want, go partner with someone else so that you get the right franchise that you really want to invest in. I mean, do you have the time to manage the business? And if you don't have the time, who will be managing it? And what's their capability? And what's your comfort level and trust level with them? Now, one advice as well, if you are planning to have a relative, a friend, a cousin in the Philippines run it, make sure they also invest some money into the business. The last thing you want is to give a franchise as a gift. Hindi to regalo. It's not a condo that you just give to someone. It's not a TV that you just give to someone. Make sure they actually are part of the process choosing the franchise. And if you can, make them invest just a bit of money so you know they're very serious about it. Of course, are you able to follow the systems that the franchisor have given you? Can you find the locations? And do you or your partner have experience leading people or managing customers? Because whatever business you go in, and the beauty with franchising is you could go into food, service, retail. There's so many franchises out there. Some of the fastest growing now on top of food are, of course, you have micro lending franchise, you have healthcare franchises. I mean, you even have cemetery franchises and funeral parlor franchises. There's so many to choose from. But whatever you choose, you do still need to lead people and manage them. So do understand if you have that capability. With that, I mean, I just had that 10 minutes to share that with you. If you did have more questions, feel free to contact the PFA or contact you franchise. We're more than happy to speak with you. It's a free service. Our details are there, franchising at youfranchiseasia.com or PFA at pfa.org.ph. With that, thank you very much and happy to answer questions later.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chris Lim. Thank you very much. And it's just 10 minutes, but we really learned a lot. So I think it was really helpful. Yours and Miss Cheryl's presentation was really helpful to guide and set the framework for decision-making for our franchisees. So before we move forward, we have a request from the Philippine Franchise Association as the organization to take 5 seconds of our time. We would like to ask all the panelists, all the speakers to please be on screen. And the Secretariat of the Philippine Franchise will take a screenshot just for posterity and for documentation. So let's just do this for 5 seconds, and then we will proceed na to the presentation of the brands. So are we all ready? I think Mr. Lim, Mr. Sammy Lim, the founder, the father of Philippine Franchise, is also joining us. Sir? So, Miss Big, okay na ba tayo? Chris, are we good to go na? Okay. So, 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. And I hope the Secretariat was able to do the screenshot, no? So let's proceed with the next presentation. Okay, so now our first presenter, our brand presenter, offers a favorite native delicacy in bite size and variety of flavors. This brand was recognized and awarded as one of the most innovative food companies in the Philippines. To tell us more about it, let us welcome the franchise manager of Bibing Kinitan, Miss Melissa De Guzman. Madam?
Hi, Sir Benedict. Thank you very much. Good afternoon to everyone and also to our fellow kababayans in Belgium, the Netherlands, Germany, and Austria. So my name is Melissa. I am from Philippine Food Asia Corporation, and I'll be presenting about Bibing Kinitan. So Bibing Kinitan is one of the top brands of Philippine Food Asia Corporation. So just to give you a short background of Bibing Kinitan, so we have been in the food industry for 16 years already, and then from a 10-inch traditional size bibingka, which is known to every one of us that it's a favorite Filipino delicacy during Christmas season, we innovated this famous rice cake into a bite size and make it available for everyone all year round. So that's the reason why you are seeing a lot of Bibing Kinitan stores already inside the malls in different communities and villages as well. Right now, we have more than 200 stores nationwide, reason why we were recognized and received various awards in the local food industry with the leadership, of course, of our CEO and President, Mr. Richard Sands. So Mr. San has been invited, is regularly being invited to do talks on topics related to business, food, and franchising in both private and government sectors. So let me present to you our list of products. So Bibing Kinitan is usually best paired with our local Barako coffee. So others opt to have it with hot chocolate. And we are proud to say that we are supporter of local farmers. So that's the reason why most of our supplies are being sourced locally here in the Philippines, of course. So customers can also choose from a lot of from our different flavors, ranging from the original bibingka. Others opt to have additional cheese on top. That's why we are offering the cheese max. And then if you want additional salted egg and cheese, we also have the overload flavor. So right now we have our new product, which is Chocolate de Batirol. So as Sir Chris mentioned earlier, it is very important that each franchisor has its own research and development team that will be capable of producing new products for the company. Next slide, please. So let me proceed with the highlight of my presentation, which is the franchise package of Bibing Kinitan right now. So we all know that we are experiencing a crisis and pandemic right now. That's why we've come up with this new franchise package. You can now avail the Bibing Kinitan franchise package for a price of 300,000 pesos only. So what will be the inclusion? So that will include a 1-year term already. So it's subject for renewal, of course. Then we will be providing a complete set of your equipment. So that includes the oven, the coffee maker, then as well as the chest freezer. So the initial inventories, of course, prior to your opening will be delivered. The complete set of smallwares, the marketing collaterals as well, which includes the banners, the toppers, and other materials like the menu boards. So for this package, we already include the standard card. The measurement of the standard cart is around 3 to 4 square meters only. So just in case you wanted to have a bigger store, so definitely the price will go higher. So, but we already include on this package the POS hardware and software. So what will be the expected marketing assistance from us, just in case you pursue to be our franchisee? So we will be providing the training for the staff. Of course, we will be providing the opening and marketing support for your store prior to opening. And then we will be assisting you to enroll on the different food delivery services, just like Grab, Food Panda, and Lala Food, especially now that customers opt to buy via takeout or, of course, the delivery. So our franchise marketing team is also active in posting different updates via our Facebook and Instagram account. So you can check out our Facebook and Instagram account. We are regularly tying up with food bloggers and celebrities to promote bibingka. Next. So as you can see, we have a new logo. If you can happen to notice that we are now on the first slide, I already show you what is the new logo of Bibing Kinitan. So this is our new packaging, our new box and the paper snips. So it's part of the continuous product innovation for Bibing Kinitan. And then this is the new store facade for Bibing Kinitan. This is a typical example of the kiosk with seating on which you have the dine-in area, and then of course the counter and kitchen area. So watch out for that new look of Bibing Kinitan. So we have more than 72,000 likes already from our Bibing Kinitan mini bibingka Facebook account, and then around 2,000 followers via Instagram. So I would like to thank everyone for your time. If you have further inquiries regarding local and international franchise, you can call me and contact me through the email address and contact numbers reflected on your respective screen. So thank you very much, and I'm wishing the safety of everyone out there.
Okay, nakamute.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Guzman, for your presentation. Yeah, our next brand is a homegrown company and the first maker of rice bran-based health and beauty products in the Philippines. They started as a manufacturer of aromatherapy products 19 years ago until it grew into utilizing its locally sourced materials, and now they export their finished products. Our next brand is a success story of a homegrown brand going international. May we call on the Franchise Relations Officer of Arispa, Ms. Patricia De Ramos.
Yes, hello, good afternoon. Thank you, PFA, our participants, and to all our viewers in Facebook Live. I'm Patricia De Ramos, Franchise Relations Officer of Arispa. In realizing our dreams, no better day to start than now. In every crisis, there is an opportunity. It served us well too during this quarantine. Other than safety, people realize that wellness is a priority. We need to take care of our well-being. Instead of cure, we need to prevent being ill by embracing a healthy lifestyle. Our brand promises to give you relief and relaxation, bringing the feel-good spa experience into your homes anytime. So who are we? Arispa Spa Solutions Incorporated is the first and finest maker of 100% rice bran-based spa products in the country. Arispa is your ASEAN Excellence in Healthcare at the ASEAN Business Summit 2016 and Outstanding Filipino Franchise and Best in Corporate Social Responsibility Program 2017, awarded by the Philippine Franchise Association and the Department of Trade and Industry. We are into manufacturing and retailing, and we expand through franchising, having 66 branches and presence in 12 other countries. Arispa is founded by homegrown brand advocate and seasoned entrepreneur, Ms. Cheryl Ramos Quintana, who has been also in the manufacturing sector for 20 years. So why choose Arispa? We are a trusted Filipino brand. We have a great brand equity in areas that we operate. We are the only brand dedicated for rice bran-based spa products and uses all natural ingredients. We promise a feel-good anywhere, anytime experience, which is in demand as spas and salons are not open and people are busy, but they can have it with every purchase of Arispa products. We are manufacturing our own products, having control of quality and servicing your inventory needs right away. We are a competent team that cares for the collective growth of our franchisees, and we are led by a clear brand vision and mission. So next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay, so how to own an Arispa retail store. So you inquire and then you contact us through our social media, email, or cell phone number. Then we will send you our franchise forms for you to fill up. Then we approve if you are qualified. You process your business permits and any needed documents, then we assist you. Our lines are open to help you in every step of the way. You open, so it's now the start of your operation. Then we support by continuous communication and learning never stops. Arispa franchise investment is inclusive of franchise fee, staff uniform, kiosk, initial inventory, stock bond, and soft opening support. Total franchise fee is $625,000. It's a turnkey operation. As an Arispa franchisee, enjoy 50% profit margin. Note that we do not have royalty fees. Return of investment is 1.8 years or 16 months. And 3 years contract renewable for 2 terms, having franchisee enjoy 9 years of contract. Arispa franchise is easy to operate. You can now be your own boss at an affordable cost. Start your own Arispa retail store now. Our pivot strategy is during this pandemic is to bring the feel-good spa experience into your homes fast and safe. Because most of our products are personal care and we are tagged as essential goods, we operate our manufacturing and reach our customers via online and phone messaging. And we have our franchises cover the particular areas for deliveries. We also opened a subsidiary which is Arispa Healthcare that produces and supplies alcohol-based sanitizers and sanitizing agents. You can now be your own boss. Choose wellness, choose Arispa. We are happy to partner with you. For inquiries, kindly contact us with the details that are flashed on your screen. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Miss Patricia of Arispa. So just a reminder to all our
Thank
viewers.
you, sir.
Yeah, to all our viewers to please keep on sending your questions at the Q&A box. You can see below your screen. We will accommodate and read all the questions later after all our speakers speak. No? So our next brand has been in the food industry for 25 years. From its small carts, it has grown into inline stores in almost every corner of the Philippines, and now even in many countries around the world. Walang laban ang French fries, Belgian fries, German fries, Austrian fries dito. So actually, they're dubbed as the world's best flavored fries. We have this afternoon the General Manager for International Business of Potato Corner, Miss Katrina Manalo.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Thank you for inviting Potato Corner. So I'll start my presentation. So as mentioned by Benny, we were dubbed as the best world's flavored French fries, and we are a dominant food kiosk player in the Philippines. As of date, we have over 1,000 stores in the Philippines, and we have 252 stores globally. We are present in 11 countries, and just last year, we opened our stores in Canada, in Myanmar, and also in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Next. Our achievements, we are a multi-awarded franchise player by the PFA. Some of our awards are Franchise of the Year under the food category, Global Filipino Franchise by the PFA and DTI. And this 2020, we were awarded the Squad of the Year by the QSR Media Asia. And also being a trusted franchisee of PFA, our franchise is also continually expanded despite the pandemic. So regardless if it's pandemic, 12 stores have been opened by our franchises in Manila. We opened 8 stores in the international market, in Myanmar, Cambodia, Thailand, and also Indonesia. Next. Potato Corner pivoted its business model to make it easier for our aspiring franchisees to have access to business opportunities. So number one, we have pivoted to franchising smaller packages and accessible packages to aspiring entrepreneurs. This year, there is no franchise fee for Potato Corner. So this is a first for Potato Corner. Given the pandemic, we decided to be very flexible. So there's no franchise fee if you decide to get a cart, a kiosk, or this special events card. So for first-time aspiring franchises, as Chris mentioned, you have to know your capability if you want to franchise. So as a starting point, we initiated this turnkey package at 95,000 pesos. So you can assess your time, your effort, and profitability of the location. So you can have the cart for 6 months. You can assess your location in community-based areas. As we all know right now, all the malls are not really ghost town, but there is limited foot traffic, there is limited opportunity. But community-based areas, residential areas are the thriving locations for Potato Corner. So for our aspiring franchisees, you can actually look at locations for your communities in provincial areas, and you can start looking at our turnkey package at 95,000. Next. Also, as we are looking at community-based selling and we are adopting to the new normal, Potato Corner came up with this opportunity to be a home seller under the Special Forces Army. So during the pandemic, when it started in April, we decided to do Special Forces Army to all of the strangers, anyone who wants to be an entrepreneur. So we have over 400 SFA nationwide who are selling Potato Corner products. So if you don't like to be a franchisee, you can be a home seller. So being a home seller, it generates extra income for work from home employees, displaced workers, and also aspiring entrepreneurs. So we encourage everyone to be a home seller and entrepreneur at the comfort of home using online selling. So being an SFA, you have access to a lot of products, specialty products of Potato Corner, popcorn, other products in our portfolio, Snack Stop, the Kiss King of Boss, Buddy's Burger, Boss Barbecue, Boss Chicken, and Dynasty. So if you can imagine, before, you were just a franchisee of Potato Corner, but now you can also be a home seller, selling all of these products. Just sign up with us. There is no franchise fee required to be a home seller. Also, as mentioned by Chris, you need to look for a franchisor that has a very strong franchise support. And for Potato Corner, we are very happy to say that we are providing all of these items listed. We provide site assessment assistance. We have training and onboarding online to our potential franchisees. We have a lot of marketing campaigns, local store marketing. We have assigned account managers for each franchisee. And in terms of research and development, I know this is very critical to keep everyone excited with your products. Just this pandemic, we launched the popcorn for Potato Corner, and also we are coming up with a chicken pop. So there is continuous R&D for Potato Corner. So it's really not more about the flavors. It's really expanding the menu management from our end. So next, why join us? Number one, you have 27 years of franchising experience. It's a simple and a proven concept. You have two options to be a partner of Potato Corner. You can be a franchisee and you can be a home seller. So thank you everyone, stay safe, and we want to be your partner. These are the numbers that you can get in touch with us if you want to inquire more about the items that I've discussed a while ago. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Manalo from Potato Corner. Thank you. Our next brand is remarkably also interesting. Yeah? For its products are rooted in innovation and an advocacy for healthy lifestyle. Its founders believe that nourishment is the secret to a happy life, and they aim to share this secret through their brand. And now, to share that with us, we have the managing director of Pure Nectar, Ms. Ariel Escalona.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to our kababayans also in Europe and to everybody here in the Philippines. Thank you to PFA for the opportunity to share to everybody our brand and to everyone watching us right now. So Pure Nectar started with actually a challenge that I had after I graduated college. I was an athlete for almost 8 years with a strict training schedule and diet. And when I started working, however, I realized how difficult it was to maintain a healthy diet and an active lifestyle, and more so the diet. All the available products in the market and convenience stores back then claimed to be healthy, but the ingredients list on the products had chemicals I couldn't even pronounce or know of. That's when my father and I conceptualized Pure Nectar, a convenient, ready-to-drink beverage that is very honest with the ingredients and the process. So one 300 ml bottle is actually equivalent to 1.5 kilos of raw fruits and veggies. All our juices have absolutely no additives, preservatives, and no added sugar, and we take pride in this. It's very difficult to maintain the quality of the product because it is highly perishable, but we managed to create systems and processes to perfect it. We have partnered with medical experts to formulate the flavors and mixtures not only to fit the Filipino taste, but also their lifestyle as well. We have over 40 flavors to cater to different lifestyles and to different taste profiles. Through the years of research and development, we realized that the process of juicing raw fruits and veggies is extremely vital in the quality of the juice we serve. So we make sure that our FDA-approved facility is equipped with the right machines to sanitize and extract the juice from the produce to ensure utmost quality and taste. So just so you know how we process the fruits and veggies, we actually use a machine that has 14,000 pounds of pressure just to get all the vitamins, live enzymes, and nutrients in the raw fruits and vegetables. So it started off as a problem of mine back in 2014, but soon we realized that the problem was that was a problem of a lot of other people facing that people were facing, not just in the Philippines but in other countries as well. Pure Nectar started 25 years ago, actually, as Fruit Magic. The company was managed by my father, and the brand served fresh fruit shakes and juices in cups through kiosks in malls, gyms, and schools. And although it was a great business model altogether, there were many limitations. The business relied on the foot traffic of these malls and locations, which slowly declined over the years, which is why we wanted to create a product that was easy to order, deliver, and distribute. So over the years, we have partnered with corporations, brands, and individuals to help us grow the brand quicker and make the products easily accessible to the market. And 5 years later, from 2014, we are now available in 300 locations, and regional expansion has reached Singapore and Brunei through partnerships and franchising. We're happy that our e-commerce platform was actually up and running since 2017. So we just enhanced all its features by adding more convenient payment methods, regularizing deliveries, and introducing loyalty programs in our website. And we created sets especially to boost the immune system, especially during these times. So despite the mall and physical store closures in the past few months, we're really happy to say that we're thriving during the pandemic, and more people are starting to value overall health and wellness. And more people are realizing the importance of a nutritious diet. So the business model, depending on your capability and your location, it's very, very easy to manage. It has very good profit margins and offers great returns. Simple inventory system and monitoring for a high value product that is definitely on demand. Next slide, please. So actually, we have a lot of business opportunities. It's not as detailed as the other brands listed, but it's because our product is very, very versatile. So just in May, we launched the community selling, just like Potato Corner. So we're offering actually the refrigerators, the special coolers, wherein you can store the juices, and then people can sell within their community and within their location. So we offer kiosks and cart franchise packages that start from 499,000. So that includes the kiosk already, but we really try to push more now the franchising distribution and the community selling. The other side of the business is B2B partnerships. So some of the brands here, if you notice in the photo, are actually other brands that we manufacture for. So we also do OEM and rebranding. So if you believe in our advocacy, we'd love to partner with you so you can be part of the family that will make the Philippines and the rest of the world a happier and healthier place. Thank you, everyone.
So thank you very much, Ms. Escalona. Thank you very much for that. So our last presenter is from a company that offers franchise matching services that helps you to be your own boss and to start your own franchise. To tell us more on these various franchise business opportunities, let us all welcome the franchise consultant of U Franchise Sales and Management, Ms. Camille Malto. Ms. Camille?
Hi, Sir Ben. Thank you so much, and good day po to all our webinar attendees. So first off, I would like to thank everyone, especially po to our kababayan po na nasa Belgium, the Netherlands, Germany, and Vienna. Thank you for choosing to spend your time with us. I am Camille, one of the franchise consultant of U Franchise, and I will be presenting the top franchise brands that are on the upswing this time. But just to quickly introduce our company, U-Franchise is the largest franchise matching platform in the Philippines. So ano po ba yung ginagawa namin? Basically, we are helping aspiring franchisees like you be matched with the right franchise brand to invest in. With a lot of franchise offers right now, it's a bit confusing, especially to our first-time franchisees na wala silang idea on what to do and how to do it. So we are a sister company of Rancor Philippines and a global franchise it's a global franchise development consultancy firm that developed the franchise program of well-known brands such as Jollibee, Maxis, the Genetics Pharmacy, and many more. We are also a member of Philippine Franchise Association. And we have sold over 1,000 franchises, and we are handling over 200 quality franchise brands to offer you. So we do not hard sell lang po on one brand. So we have a lot of brands to offer. Of course, this will be based on our assessment to our franchise applicants. So we are doing free franchise consultation. So don't worry po, because we will not be charging you for anything. And of course, we have a premium services like location acquisition to fast track your franchise application. Now you will see the brands that are really doing well this time. So first is the Shawarma Shack. It is one of the fast growing brands here in the Philippines. So with over 400 branches. And I think one of the reason po kung bakit sila ganun kabilis na grow is because of we cannot really deny the fact that yung Filipinos love a buy one take one concept. So Shawarma Shack offers a buy one take one shawarma, pita, and rice. So they continue operation even during the quarantine period through online orders and deliveries. So franchise package starts at 850,000. We also have Citruzone. For the past few months, I have been coordinating with my existing clients or my franchisees. And one thing that we have noticed is really the increase of demand for a healthy beverage concept. So why? Because people today are leaning towards a healthier lifestyle. So as much as possible, we wanted to make sure na everything that we eat or we take is something that would boost our immune system. Tama po? So Citruzone offers not just lemonade, but also healthy snacks for online deliveries and for online orders and deliveries. So what I personally like about this brand is their system, wherein you can check po your sales, your inventory, your deliveries, whenever and wherever you are. So which is really a big help po sa ating mga OFW franchisees. So franchise starts at 290,000. On the retail side, we have H2O Mineral Plus. It's an alkaline water refilling brand from Singapore. It's a very compact setup, best for small spaces, starts at 7 square meter. You can already own a franchise for only 500,000. We also have the Genetics Pharmacy. It's one of the largest pharmacy in our country, which operated even before the ECQ. Even during the ECQ. So as customers need access for cheap yet effective medicine. So if you're looking for a business or if you have a business partner na nasa provinces or relatives sa provinces, then you might consider the Genetics Pharmacy since they still have over 2,000 potential locations to open. So you could be one of their franchisees. For franchise package starts at 674,000. And last is we have Ultra Mega Value Mart. So I am pretty sure now we have all realized that there is really a demand for a grocery store. So people are lining up to purchase their basic necessities. So Ultra Mega offers low cost retail shopping and wholesale needs. So franchise package starts at 2 million. So in the next slide po. So these are just a few of the many brands that we can match you with. Again, we have over 200 brands with exciting offers po. So if you would want to get the complete list and explore more on the brand, you can call us with the number flash on the screen via WhatsApp or Viber, or you can also email us at franchising@ufranchiseasia.com. So thank you everyone. Have a good day.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, Miss Malto. So there you have it. So that's all the presenters from the brands. So we are now opening the floor for Q&A portion. We know that there are a number of questions in the Q&A button here in Zoom. And we also have some questions perhaps from our ambassadors. Amba Ed, Amba Jet, Amba Tess, and Amba Pichi. If you have any questions to our speakers, since you also know more about our constituents in your jurisdictions, perhaps you also have questions for our speakers. So feel free to raise your hand and chime in po. So now, Tay?
Yes, thanks, Ben. So maybe we'll proceed with the first question. Maybe this is basic for really the beginners. No, this was typed in by Emil from Paris. So this question goes, Tagalog yung question, but I'll try to translate it into English, okay? So the question is, didiretso po ba ako sa franchise company kung interesado ako mag-franchise or sa PFA po muna? So in English, if I'm interested to invest in a franchise company, do I directly contact the franchise company or do I go through PFA? So maybe we'll invite maybe Ms. Cheryl or Ms. Chris Lim, Mr. Chris Lim to answer the question.
Well, for the inquiries for the franchise, Ms. Tay, they should contact directly the brand. That's why we have they shared also for the brand presenters we had earlier. Because each of the brands have different processes for screening their applicants. But if you, and also maybe Chris could share also, they can tap the offices like you franchise to ask for different franchise brands that are available. And if you need help in terms of the contact details, and if it's a PFA member, PFA will be able to help you out to reach your brand of choice to franchise.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Cheryl. Mr. Chris Lim, may idadagdag po ba?
Just to add to what Cheryl said, yes, but by all means, go direct to the brands. The contact details are there. Even if you go to the PFA websites, you'll get the contact details of the brands directly. Just talk to the brands directly. My recommendation, if you already are sure what brand you want, go direct to the brand. Now, if you're not sure, you just know how much you want to invest, you have a rough idea of maybe the type of business you want, then that's when you contact brands like you franchise who can try to match you with about 200 different brands. But if you know the brand already, like you want to go to the Oray Spa, Potato Corner, Bibing Kinitan, the contact details were shared, so go direct to them. And you know they're PFA members, so they're very credible brands.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you,
Thank
Ben.
you. So yeah, here in the Q&A box, there's one question here specific for Potato Corner. So I would like na lang to ask Potato Corner to just reply directly here in the Q&A box, so we don't need to read this aloud to save time.
Sir Ben, wait, sorry. If I may add, no, for those who are interested, actually, if they can visit our website, which we can share later in the screen, the website of the Philippine Franchise Association, because we have also a new feature now to help out our franchisors to reach more franchisees and to potential applicants, especially those who are listening right now. We have the Franchise Finder inside the Philippine Franchise Association website, and you can also visit and follow our social media presence in Facebook, Philippine Franchise Association. Thank you.
Okay. So before I'll just read the first question, siguro next si Thea. So here from Mr. Pete Eichmann, I guess I pronounced your name correctly. So the question is about the social impact of franchising, no? The social element, the social development element of this one in the communities, especially outside Luzon. So I can answer this directly. Of course, any business, small, medium enterprises, especially franchising or normal retail, these really help create jobs and movement of goods. And so this is really in a way develops and help the domestic and the local economy in the regions, in the provinces. So that's it. So talagang malaking tulong ang micro and small enterprises. They're the biggest contributor of employment in the country. Next is he has a question on the franchisors' support for other entrepreneurs or maybe aspiring franchisees who would like to expand outside of Luzon. Maybe he's thinking that, if you're, for example, an example is Marinduque. So kaya ba i-service ng franchisor yung mga businesses outside of Luzon or outside of Metro Manila? And then he has also a question about the business of entering into water and also solar energy. Maybe ask somebody to reply on that.
I'll answer that, Ben.
Yeah.
For those who are interested to franchise a brand outside Luzon, most definitely they could do so. Especially, so the best option for them is to contact directly the brand owners or the company, the franchisors, if they are ready to operate in particular territories. Because in franchising, the franchisee, once approved, actually also with assistance from the franchisor, will need to secure all the permits of operation. So because they're the owners of that particular franchise location. So for areas that you want to operate outside Luzon, you can check it out if the LGUs are okay and if there are compliance standards that you need to comply with. And all of the brands that were presented earlier have a national presence as of the moment, reaching far-flung areas of the Philippines, most definitely outside Luzon.
So, salamat. Ate, do you have other questions? Read.
Yes, thank you, Miss Cheryl, for that. This is a question for Miss Bing. So, Miss Bing from Arnel Campos from Netherlands, from Amsterdam.
Okay.
So, he was inspired by your opening remarks, and he would like to see more wisdom from you. So, his specific question would be, what are the specific character traits do you recommend one should have and hone in order to be a successful business leader?
Okay. To be a successful franchise, I'll answer the one as a franchisee, is that you must be able to follow, because there is this Bible, which is the operations manual. That's why it has 90% success rate, because there's a ready operations manual for you to follow. And if you can follow that, you can multiply so many, because just like the TGP, there is one franchisee that has 100. So really following it, the operations manual. Now, if you feel you are really a good entrepreneur and you don't want to follow that, then be a franchisor. So we also have tips how to become a franchisor, and it's also in our website. And if there are other questions, please email me so we can chat.
Okay. So we'll make this as the last or second to the last question kung may pahabol pa si Tay or yung mga ambassadors natin. But there's one question here regarding adapting, I guess, the new normal, and especially also in the case of our OFW. The question in Tagalog, and I'll just translate it in English also later, is that meron bang training or support ang binibigay ang PFA or mga franchisor company para sa mga OFW na nasa abroad pa? Paano nila ma-supervise yung mga kamag-anak nila na namamahala ng mga franchise business nila para masiguradong mabuti yung pagpatakbo? I think Chris mentioned about this, that you really have to partner with your relatives or family members or friends or partners whom you really can trust, to run your business, and ask them to also invest. But I guess the question is, with this, for situations like the Filipino investor is still overseas and still working, but he wants to invest into a franchise business and partners with somebody, how will he be able to monitor and supervise and to ensure that the business is running smoothly? Do you give that some sort of support?
For PFA, Ben, we are actually, we have flagship seminars that we conduct regularly. Even during the pandemic, we've been doing this on a bi-weekly basis. And these seminars are how to choose the right franchise and how to franchise your business. For those who are startups and wanted to take a look into franchising their business and become franchisors. So those two flagship seminars we conduct regularly. And also, we're doing a lot of the outbound mission before the pandemic to reach out more OFWs who wanted to be entrepreneurs and become their own boss here in the Philippines.
And maybe Benedict, if I could just add to that, very simply use technology. I think number one, I mentioned it a while ago, you know, even in the meetings palang with the franchisor, be involved. Everyone's so open to Zoom meetings now, so there's nothing stopping you from being in a Zoom meeting with the franchisor and your relative or whoever is your local partner here in that same room. Make sure they're part of it. And once the business is running, use technology. You could use cloud-based accounting software, so at least you can see the numbers every month. You know, have at least a monthly meeting with your partner to see what's happening. Para they know you're on top of it. Even CCTVs you could access through the cloud, so you can at least see what's happening in the store. As long as they know you're involved, you don't have to be physically there, but they know you're overseeing it. But as well, you can share your expertise to them if you see something wrong. At least you can share the expertise. So just use technology. There's a lot of technologies that can help you manage it.
Thank you, Mr. Chris Lim. So before I ask the last question, maybe I'd like to also ask our ambassadors if any one of you would like to ask questions to the presenters and our resource speakers. Meron po ba Amba Eddie, Amba Jed, and Amba Tess? Yes, Amba Jed, please.
Okay, thank you very much. And it's really been an enlightening session. And congratulations to everyone, to the participants and as well. Actually, this comment is prompted by a comment made by Consul General Capo, who's with me right now. Although this is not exactly with the business itself, but perhaps it's something that the PFA could also look into. I couldn't also help but notice the very strong presence of women in franchising and the success. So perhaps this is one thing that perhaps could be emphasized by PFA, about the social aspect and how you are contributing to the empowerment of the Filipino woman. And you know, I think this thing can open doors for greater cooperation and collaboration, and it will also strengthen the standing and the credibility of the PFA and the franchising business in the Philippines in the international and regional business community. Just my comments. And perhaps is PFA also looking to what is the role of women, Filipino women, in the success of the franchising industry. Thank you.
Okay. So maybe get comments from PFA, or we would proceed to Ambassador Eddie. Okay. Yes, Ambassador Ed, you would like to say something, po?
Yes. Well, I was thinking of making a question, but maybe we could make it into a comment. I was just noticing that in all the great presentations, I didn't hear the word COVID, not once. None of the presenters mentioned worries, fears, or anything related to how the COVID pandemic, the current COVID pandemic, might be really severely impacting their business. And I find that quite positive as an indication of the resilience of the Filipino. But I would like to invite any of the presenters, or all of them, to mention anything that they might add about how they're coping in this, or if they're coped very well, or if they look at it that just there, let's just continue doing business. This new norm. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. And perhaps Richard can in his closing remarks can also include that in his remarks about how the franchise industry is coping with the COVID. No. Amba Tess, would you like to give a comment?
No, just to say thank you again to all our speakers and all the resource persons. I was going to actually ask a question about online training for our overseas community members and those who want to invest. But Cheryl already answered that. So this is probably an appeal also and an encouragement to all our overseas kababayans who are listening in or watching on Facebook right now, to check the PFA social media platforms and to avail of this. I think it's really a good use of their time, and also a good use of the resources that they may have been able to save up in the last few years, the last few decades. And just a note also to FA and to many of our resource persons, actually here, particularly in Germany, the gender profile is skewed towards women. A lot of them are wives of foreign nationals of Germany and other are thinking of retiring or are just at the cusp of retirement, of early retirement. So I think this is a very good opportunity for the women. And we all know that women are usually very detail-oriented. So I think for franchising, that's another good quality, another good characteristic, to be detail-oriented, to be on top of things when you enter into this particular aspect of business. So maraming salamat po ulit.
Amba, can I say something?
Yes, Ms. Bing, go ahead.
Yes, you know, the OFWs really have a special place in our hearts because you are the heroes, and if there's anything you want us to do online or what, we will be more than happy to assist you to be successful.
Thank you, Ms. Bing. Thank you for that. Thank you for your comment. Thanks for your comment. So yeah, so we'd like to thank our speakers and presenters. There are a lot more of questions now we received, and hopefully Mr. Sanz, Richard Sanz, will be able to answer them, in his closing remarks. I would also like to take this opportunity, Ben, if you may, and Ambates, that our Frankfurt office, the Consulate General in Frankfurt, the Philippine Consulate General in Frankfurt, is actually organizing a TNK seminar, a seminar on financial literacy that's scheduled on August 29th. So please, if you have time, please attend that webinar. So yeah, so before we...
Sorry,
yes,
plug this.
Yes, ma'am.
Just a very quick plug. The Philippine Embassy in Berlin will also, you can check our Facebook page for details. We're also featuring a talk on fair trade and how to help our weaving communities in the Philippines. We will have Anya Lim, the proprietor of Anthill Fabric Gallery, also speaking to us on how the overseas community also can help sustain our weaving communities through responsible fashion and sustainable fashion. So it will be this August din po. August 22nd, if I'm not mistaken. It's on our Facebook page. The details are there. Salamat po.
Thank you, Amba. So yeah, so before we come to an end, it is our pleasure to introduce a distinguished leader and a multi-awarded entrepreneur. He is the CEO and founder of Food Asia Group, which has a store network of over 400 multi-brand stores. He is the immediate past president of the Philippine Franchise Association and currently the director for digitalization, where he oversees the shifting of the association to the fourth industrial revolution. Let us give our warmest welcome to the chairman of the Philippine Franchise Association, Mr. Richard Sanz.
Hi, everyone. Thea, thank you so much for the warm introduction. So, good morning, everyone, and to all our fellow kababayans in Europe, to our ambassadors. Thank you so much for being with us, and to all my colleagues here in Manila, magandang hapon for being with us. So again, thank you so much for staying and for joining us in this enriching webinar on franchising. Knowing your high interest to learn about franchising and the available franchise business opportunities has inspired us as an association, the PFA, and us as a franchisors to help each one of you on your route to entrepreneurship. So before we officially end the webinar, I would like to express our sincerest gratitude once again to all the people who made this webinar possible. So in behalf of PFA and the PFA Board of Trustees, I would like to thank, of course, Ambassador Ed De Vega, our ambassador in Belgium, Ambassador Jet Leda, our ambassador in Netherlands, Ambassador Tess De Vega, our Philippine Embassy in Germany, and of course to Ambassador Natividad, our ambassador in Austria, for all your support to this endeavor and for the inspirational messages that you have delivered, giving high hopes and optimism to our fellow Filipinos amid the pandemic in Europe. I myself, I'm inspired to keep going and moving forward and be a significant contributor in helping our country recover and become one of the fastest growing economies in the world again. And I think tama si Amba Jet and Amba Tess that the role of women in franchising, especially we have a power set of women entrepreneurs, women leaders led by our president, Cheryl, our vice chair, Auntie Bing. We have here Cheat, and hindi lang yon, mas marami pa in the board of trustees and leaders like Alice Liu of Penshop, Yvette Pardo Orbeta, and many others. And as Amba Ed also mentioned, not one mention of COVID, no? I think because as entrepreneurs, the Filipinos are very resilient. Imagine every year we go through 20 typhoons. We had the strongest typhoon a few years back. We had earthquakes. We survived other calamities, and it is not new to the Filipino. I mean, yes, COVID is different. It's unprecedented, but I guess the Filipino resilience as an entrepreneur, as a people, is there. So everyone is looking for ways on how to surpass and even find opportunities during crisis. That's why I think all entrepreneurs, yes, it's a difficult time, pero everyone is more focused on finding the opportunities on this crisis. I think that's what makes the Filipino entrepreneur very resilient amidst all this crisis. So also our sincerest gratitude, of course, to our very dedicated commercial counselors of the PTIC, my friend Ben Uy, who last I saw a few years back in Taiwan, so now in Brussels. And of course, Miss Thea Antonio from Berlin, for thank you for facilitating today's webinar. And I would also like to thank our ever passionate PFA Vice Chairman, Ms. Bing Sibal Linghoko, our very dynamic PFA President, Cheryl Quintana, and our very supportive PFA Director for ASEAN and Special Projects, Chris Lim, for sharing valuable information and insights that I believe has helped us realize what directions to take in pursuing our dreams and life goals. Also, I would like to thank our PFA members who have presented their franchise business opportunities and how they have pivoted their business models to become relevant and profitable even during these challenging times. And of course, we understand that it's difficult to make decisions during this time of uncertainties. But as I mentioned earlier, times of crisis are also times of opportunities. And if we will look at history, the best global brands today were started during crisis. So a little bit of trivia: Disney and Hewlett-Packard during the Great Depression was founded. Microsoft and FedEx was founded during the oil crisis of the early 70s. Google was founded during the dot-com bubble. Airbnb was founded during the recession of 2008. And even this is true for PFA, which was founded 2 years before the Asian financial crisis, which turned out to be a boon because many of those who lost their jobs during that time turned to franchising to start anew. Ito yung kinikwento ni Auntie Bing kanina. So we need to be agile, resilient, and have a positive outlook to recover as one nation, as one people, and we Filipinos are known for these qualities, as I have mentioned earlier. But it's also important to to be decisive. As an advocate of financial literacy, I encourage you to carefully examine all the investment opportunities available, but don't be a victim of analysis paralysis. Once you have found the investment that fits you, then go for it. Just be decisive. And as they say, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. So we truly hope that this webinar has given you an abundance of key takeaways that you can review and study further as you take the route to entrepreneurship. And for any inquiries about franchising, please feel free to contact the PFA Secretariat in our Facebook page, our IG page, our website, and we are ready to help you. So in closing, let us continue to conquer these challenges brought by this pandemic, and may we be powerful instruments to our country's economic development and inclusive growth by being our own boss through franchising. So mabuhay tayong lahat, stay safe everyone, and follow your dreams.
Maraming salamat ho, Chairman Richard San. So very well said. So it's a very good way to end this webinar. All the important lessons were summed up with his speech. So I guess now the ball is in the court of our kababayans, no? Our OFW, our overseas Filipino investors. So now you have initial set of information. We are inspired by the messages of our ambassadors and also the messages of our colleagues and friends from the Philippine Franchise Association. So please think it over. Think about the opportunities you want to catch. And please take the plunge and feel free to ask more questions. If I'm sure you have a lot more questions in your mind. My office, the Department of Trade and Industry, PTIC, here in Brussels, is open to serve you and to assist you. My colleague in Berlin, Thea, is also there. So I would like to again, never-ending thank you. Typical Pinoy. So again, I would like to again thank our dear ambassadors for joining this morning session. The Philippine Franchise Association for this very, very strong support. Miss Bing, especially for isang text lang, oo kaagad. Maraming salamat po. Really appreciate it. It's always nice to see familiar faces and friends. So again, thank you. And please stay with us. After Thea's closing remarks, we will ask our ambassadors and our panelists to have a quick photo session again. So maraming salamat po, and please enjoy your entrepreneurship journey. Thea?
Yeah, thank you, Ben. So yeah, again, this webinar has been recorded. So if you wish to view it again, you may do so by visiting the PFA's Facebook page at Philippine Franchise Association, and you may also go to their website, www.pfa.org.ph. Again, maraming salamat po. Thank you very much. And I hope that apart from the learnings, that we were able to inspire you this morning. So this has been Dea Antonio from PTIC Berlin, reminding everyone to practice prudence in choosing the right franchise. So keep safe, everyone, and have a good weekend.